Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Nobody in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show and there being a line for him to truly get thunderous applause at any parody club. No, we've never known about that before that individual or since that individual. What do you think a plant is? You all. I bet Kevin Hart is genuinely beginning to lament talking about Lady Williams. Since Katt is coming for Kevin and he is battling Messi, most CBS realize that Katt isn't the individual you need to play with in light of the fact that he has such countless receipts on everyone in the business, and Kevin is going to realize this in the most difficult way possible after. Kevin emerged to consider Katt a comedian for alluding to Kevin as an industry plan. Katt is currently terminating back, and he's collaborating with Kevin's ex-conservative Harts. And they're carrying hard proof to uncover how Kevin was purportedly pernicious towards Peak and abused her during their marriage. You all are not entirely settled to end Kevin's heart since he and Torrei have a great deal to say about Kevin, and you all will have a hard time believing the receipts they took out. Kevin let you know he won't go wear no dress until they offered him the dress and afterward he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I settled on my own choice, do. However, you didn't make it before they brought it up. Did you? It's alright, it's okay, so it appears as though Kevin Hart has more to manage than just Tasha K on the grounds that in under about 14 days, he has gone from being stressed over Tasha K coercing him and uncovering him for betraying his better half Inigo to being uncovered for purportedly abusing his ex Torrei when they were hitched previously. This entire thing with K. Williams Kevin had been in the information for documenting a claim against Tasha K since she had a meeting with one of his previous partners who uncovered him for betraying his better half enough. And having a few illicit relationships. First outrage was with the first child, right? The one in quite a while, yes. So these different embarrassments, it's another in the workplace. She pregnant again, right? With their subsequent B, he's actually leaving scene stains all around the sea at the Heartbeat studio, right? And showering and afterward returning home, like now in the event that Kevin had overlooked the meeting. The dramatization presumably could never have exploded in light of the fact that him undermining a knee isn't precisely surprising. Listen, him undermining General isn't stunning on the grounds that he has been reputed to have supposedly undermined most ladies that he's been with, even undermined Anna when she was pregnant. Yet she took him back. He committed to never undermine her after that, since he could perceive the amount it hurt her. And he said the most terrible part was simply knowing the way in which you caused someone to feel when I got to see that firsthand with the Nico when I got to see the impact my Rexy's way of behaving had. It was squashing, and that destroyed me. That truly destroyed me. And well, the certainly didn't buy that since there have been bits of gossip about him, suppose. Dolly cheating on her despite the fact that nothing has been demonstrated at this point after the specific embarrassment. This is likely why he was so frantic to keep his standing clean. So he hit Tasha with the claim asserting that she had been attempting to blackmail him. Reports have it that C cases that an unidentified associate of Cabby contacted him in November expressing that a meeting harming to his standing would be distributed, except if he paid a $250,000 payment. The misfortune who happened to say that Kevin wouldn't surrender to her requests, and on second thought sent her a stop and help letter cautioning her that assuming that she went to post the video, she would be opening up herself to a slander claim. Now you all realize that Tasha K is unyielding. That young lady don't tune in. And she got a claim after she posted the meeting. This cost a great deal of show. And Kevin continued endlessly about how he wasn't looking for show. And all of that, yet he plainly had no clue about the thing G was coming for him next in light of the fact that Katt Williams and his ex Torrei have collaborated to carry some serious show. And I'm not discussing allegations of him cheating in light of the fact that again, that is a TA his most season time in addition to with regards to Katt Williams. You all realize that he generally accompanies some quality tea, not simply some powerless tea about who is laying down with who and who isn't being devoted to one another. And Katt accompanies receipts, truth bombs, and then they're ensured to leave us shook for a really long time, and that is precisely exact thing the man did. Better believe it. You all computer-aided design began the year solid when he went on Club Shay Shay's web recording, and he spilled some hard tea. You all, I'm not in any event misrepresenting when I say this must be one of the most out of control and most sultry tea that Katt has at any point spilled, cause the manner in which he came for the celebs and name dropped him definitely child. He was cause he didn't come to play. He came for so many celebs, including Steve, Harry, Ricky, Smiley, Diddy, CD performer, thus a lot more. Yet when he came for Kevin, Katt continued endlessly about him, hauling him for rottenness and attempting to uncover him Well, computer-aided design set it all up when he uncovered Kevin for being an industry plan, calling attention to how odd it was that Kevin moved rapidly all through the positions in the business, and immediately became one of the greatest comics in the game. Yet with regards to Kevin Hart finding lasting success, Kay really asked the contrast, saying that Kevin is not even as effective as he professes to be on the grounds that it's all smoking mirrors. He guaranteed that Kevin has never had a sold-out show in his whole vocation. However, he gives the deception at his shows of them being sold out ahead of time, since it causes him to appear to find success. Currently had likewise brought up how Kevin had never had a long queue of individuals anxious to watch him perform, or fans that cheered that hard in 15 years in Hollywood. Nobody in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him truly getting a thunderous applause at any satire club he previously had his arrangements when he arrived. Have we known about a humorist that came to LA and in his most memorable year in law, he had his own sitcom on network TV and had his own film called Soul Plan that he was driving? No, we've never knew about that before. That individual or since that individual? What do you think a plant is currently? I'm not saying that Kevin is a plant or any such thing yet. Isn't it sort of strange how rapidly Kevin made progress in the business? Presently, I'm making an effort not to extol the battle life cause you all realize that I love to see my kin mutual benefit individuals of color. However, except if you're a Nepo child or you have some serious interfaces in the business, you're presumably going to battle for over 10 years while you're attempting to stumble upon the opportunity of a lifetime, yet Kevin set it all up, and as per Katt, that was hella dubious. Well, Katt likewise implied that Kevin could have done a little something in the background to procure the great graces of the Hollywood elites, and consequently they gave him his vocation. So he never needed to battle presently. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Kevin didn't buckle down for his profession, since I'm certain that he has really buckled down and set forth major areas of strength for some over the course of the years. However, as per Katt, Kevin had it simple in the first place, and he didn't need to perspire it, yet computer-aided design didn't stop there, since he likewise guaranteed that a large portion of the film jobs that Kevin got in the recent years were his crude seconds. Now computer-aided design has been open about how he loathes how the business power people of color into humiliating jobs. He said again and again in the past that the business purposely decides to embarrass people of color by compelling them to wear dresses in motion pictures or to act in jobs of misrepresented homosexuality, while Katt cases not to be homophobic. He has brought up how embarrassing it was for entertainers to be constrained into those jobs or scenes, particularly when it never really encourages the plot or add anything to the film, as indicated by Katt. The main justification for making them wear dresses was simply to embarrass them. So when Katt was purportedly offered this job, he told the makers and the writers to consider taking out the dress scenes since it was superfluous, and he would have rather not gotten it done. However, they didn't tune in, and they rather gave the job to Kevin Hart, who is glad to take it for a 5-year period. Each and every film that Kevin Hart did was a film that had been right in front of me, that all I had said was simply, might we act to any point take a portion of this stepping, bring it out, and afterward I can do it as it needn't bother with to be obviously gay, cuz I'm not gay, right, and needn't bother with that to be entertaining, right? And that's what me saying and them going gracious, definitely no issue, and afterward going to give it to this other fellow and having him do it very much like it was, and behaving like I'm a terrible individual since I keep remaining on my norm. However, definitely it's you. It's fascinating. And I wouldn't transform it for anything. Like, well, Katt additionally featured occurrences where Kevin supposedly undermined his own principles, like the time he surrendered to wearing a dress after stubbornly vowing he never would. Then you would comprehend that part. Kevin let you know he wouldn't go wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and afterward he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I settled on my own choice, duh. However, you didn't make it previously. They brought it up. Did you think it's okay? It's definitely you. All this ought not be all that astonishing, considering that many taxis have been blamed for selling their spirits in return for cash and distinction. So in correlation, Kevin wearing a dress wasn't a joke. At first, Kevin excused the charges, guaranteeing he wouldn't elevate them with the reaction, as it was a lot of gibberish and that Katt was making things up for clout anyway. Experiencing the intensity of Katt's disclosures, Kevin chose to fire back, naming Katt a jokester more qualified for the bizarre. Hello, Kev. You didn't express anything to Katt Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slowly yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on here. Well, do you engage in the carnival or do you watch it perk up? In which one do you definitely have an incredible rebound? Kevin, well, it seems as though he ought to be concerned in light of the fact that computer-aided design. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.